Introducing Tony and Other People, a podcast. Here's your host, Tony Levesque.
So you got a new album coming out. I know you're pretty excited about it.
Oh yeah, very excited.
You guys got to record at Muscle Shoals. What was that like?
Oh, it was good. We were actually at the Nut House Studio, which is in Sheffield, Alabama. Basically, Sheffield, Muscle Shoals, like that area is four kind of small cities that are all together to make one big region of the Muscle Shoals region. And it was super cool. We were with a guy named Jimmy Nutt who runs the Nut House, and it was just a fantastic time. I mean, we got to meet Spooner from the Swampers and a couple other amazing people that were just kind of kicking around, stopped by the studio, say hello. We could go out to see some music and just these legends playing on stage, and like maybe 20, 30 people out there having a couple beers, maybe. It was quite the thing to see.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it definitely was. And then in the recording process, it was really cool. Jimmy was awesome to work with, and he gave us a lot of freedom. We were co-producing it with him, and that gave a lot of free range and a lot of ideas going, which was awesome. And he just got this calm, cool demeanor and this kick-ass accent that makes it seem like everything's going to be all right all the time. It was good.
So does it feel like there's some leftover vibe? Does it seem like it's a special place, more than just being a special place?
Yeah, I mean, like to a degree. When you're down there, you don't feel like it's a really big music place for the most part. Like I said, it's four small areas that are kind of just one big region, and people kind of go Friday, Saturday from what we heard, but the amount of shows that I kind of expected to maybe be happening there weren't, just because football's the thing of glory down there. So if there's a football game on, there's no chance of having a show.
Right.
The way that someone described it to me, like if Paul McCartney came and played tonight, and the football team was playing tonight, Paul McCartney's stage would be empty, or his audience would be empty, pretty much.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does, but it's also interesting because it's such like a music. It has all these like inspiring people that have gone down there and recorded. Just like such magic come from out there, and they got the Fame recording studio and Muscle Shoals recording studio, and I don't know. I just kind of thought that music would be kind of a number one there, but it's it still is to a lot. But I was just kind of thinking there'd be a little more. But the magic is definitely there. Like when you're there, we were staying in this old Airbnb, and we just couldn't stop writing. Every night we'd come home, we immediately start drinking and jamming. It was awesome.
Now, I was following you on Instagram during this time period, and it seemed like every day you were posting something up of you guys just couldn't be in there recording. You had to make the magic happen outside of the studio as well, it seems like.
Yeah, it's hard not to.
Is that how you guys are on the road? I mean, are you constantly playing, or is it just you're doing it every night, so, you don't really want to during the day?
The road's a lot tougher because, we're playing pretty much every night. You get an off day, all your stuff's kind of packed away in the back, and if you have the urge, like, you'll pick it up and start playing, but so far, writing-wise on the road is very minimal. We used to do it a lot more when it was just four of us, because we'd always be, hauling in our instruments in and out every day. We'd be sitting around a lot in between loading and stuff, so we'd kind of pick away a little bit or jam at some tunes, but for the most part, when we're on the road, it's pretty much we're just playing the shows, and then when we're not, we're not.
Right. Now, I know you play some new songs while you're out on the road. At least when I saw you back in November, you were playing, I think you played about 5 new ones during your show. And how much writing goes into while you're on stage? Do you pretty much have the songs down pat and then you bring them on stage and show them off? Or is there a little bit of writing going on, being you hadn't produced it on an album yet?
I would say the songs are majorly done. Basically what we do is when we try them out on stage, we kind of go and get a feel for it when we're playing it live, because that's when we start really clicking, is when we're playing it, and then we start noticing different things. And then we also kind of see how the audience feels about it too, and if there's any ebbs and flows, and if it's consistent in the song. For instance, let's go back to Gunslinger's Glory from Illusion of Doubt. We started playing that one, and there was a whole other verse added on there, so then that song was even longer. And we were playing it live, we played it a couple times with that extra verse, and it was just like, man, this song is even long for us to play. It's getting painful. So it's stuff like that you kind of figure out when you're playing live.
So it's got to be.
You don't want to give away all the magic, you know. You don't want to give away all the surprises of the new album at the same time.
Right. So it's got to be a lot like comedy, where you're testing out the audience to see what works in real time, and then when you go to make the album, actually record the album, you'll know what to put on there and what not to.
Yeah, and you can also play around a little bit for, in the studio, you can play around a little bit more too, just to get a feel of it. And then you got to try and work that out live, which is a lot of fun. Some of the songs we try to do a lot of like pull into a kick drum, and we'll do a foot stomp, and then Scott will try and do a foot stomp, and then followed by a tambourine. Then in the studio, he's not in there clicking the tambourine down on his foot, but maybe we're hitting like a little cymbal or something, which gives it a little more explosiveness. So then when we go doing that live, it's a lot trickier. So it's a lot of practice for Scott, playing the little mandolin riff, and then trying to do like these different kind of kick beats with his feet too. So
right.
It's a lot of fun to play around with.
That does have to be difficult, because mandolin can sometimes be a percussion instrument on its own, and then to add that tambourine in there has got to be pretty difficult.
Oh, exactly, yeah.
Do you have a name for the new album yet?
We do, but we're not releasing it just yet.
Not even exclusively on the podcast, huh?
Maybe exclusively to you after the podcast.
Yeah, okay. I'm just busting your balls anyway. So it's available for pre-order now, right?
Yes, I believe it is.
And it'll be available in October?
Yes, yeah, October 12th is the date we're going for the actual release.
So is everything pretty much done on that, and you're just waiting for all the not fun stuff, or do you still have stuff to add to it?
No, we were thinking of adding a couple of things that we decided against kind of late in the game. So now it's actually kind of fun. We're just listening through and then just making little mix adjustments and taking down notes. And once these are all mixed up, then we go to master, and then they start getting pressed from there. And yeah. So
I know the last time I saw you in November, and kind of switched up how you do the touring. The first time I saw you was in the Dodge Caravan and the Honda Ridgeline, I think it was. And the last time I saw you, you actually had the tour bus. Is that still going on?
That is still going on. We wanted to try it out in October, and then as soon as we did that, after the first few days, the guys were like, man, we're getting some sleep. It's actually feeling good. So then we got it again for November. And then we had a tour in the UK, and we got one for there, and then a tour for Europe, we got one for there. So we decided that as long as it's feasible and the tour is doing well, we're going to get it, as long as the tour is 3 weeks long. If it's shorter than 3 weeks, we'll probably just do, like we have a 15-passenger Hutterite van that we take a lot of with a trailer, and we'll probably just use that for like little shorter stints. Maybe rent a van or something as well. But for the long runs, we're definitely doing that, because a lot of times there's super long drives in the way that these tours get booked sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have to go from Bend, Oregon, down to San Francisco, playing the next morning, if we're having to drive that ourselves in one night and then play the next morning, we're pretty much kaput. We've done that too many times, and it really suffers. Like, we kind of lose our heads a little bit when we're playing, and you're half sleeping. It's just pretty tough. So we're going to try and do the tour bus thing as much as possible.
Well, it's funny you say that, because on Eric's book, Del Suelo, you kind of get the gist of that. I know that's not related to you, really, but I'm sure you've read the book, The Musician's Compass. And
absolutely.
He talks a lot about that, and I don't think people really understand.
No, it's actually really interesting, because a lot of people will, I'll come home from touring for 3 weeks straight, and the first thing that some people say is, how was the trip?
Yeah.
Like, man, that's not a trip. Like, I know it seems glamorous and it sounds glamorous, and it is to like certain degrees, but it's like shift work, right?
Right.
We're working really weird hours. We're not getting much sleep. Even when you try to, you're still not getting a ton of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's consistent. It's every day. You're in a new place every day. You're living out of a bag. It's a lot of fun, and it's amazing, and it's all these incredible things. But it's very taxing too. Every time you come back, you feel a little bit older.
I know. I'm even trying to get a hold of you for this interview has been difficult. I know the hours that you live are crazy. So thanks for taking the time out, by the way. This is awesome.
Oh, anytime. I'm glad that we linked it up and got it. Yeah, yesterday I took a nap at 3:30 and woke up at 8:40 p.m. Like, what's going on? Missed that one.
Whoops. So,
I'm even on a good schedule to get home, so.
yeah. So you guys have had some pretty amazing openers as well out on tour. I saw you guys with Del Suelo, of course, which is Eric, who fills in on the cello for you guys once in a while, and the Hoot and Hollers, who I've become a huge fan of. Those guys are lights out.
Oh man, those guys are incredible live, absolutely unstoppable.
So you're touring shortly. Who are you bringing to open for you next?
Well, we're going to be doing a short little stint in the UK here right away. And that one we're playing 2 festivals and 3 club shows. That one we probably won't have anyone really except for who maybe a couple of clubs suggest for the openers for those 3 shows.
Right.
Because the festivals we're playing like Glastonbury, so that's, there's a lot to see there.
Yeah.
And then Black Deer Festival, which will be fantastic. And then we're just deciding right now who we're going to have for that U.S. run, because some of the dates we're playing with Trampled by Turtles.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we're playing Red Rocks with Trampled by Turtles and Deer Tick. And then we're playing a couple of other shows with Trampled by Turtles as well.
And as you've said before, they were kind of a big inspiration for you guys.
Oh, they're huge, yeah.
So that's got to be a dream come true.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, there's a bucket list. I've never seen Trampled by Turtles yet, which is very unfortunate. I've always wanted to. Mm-hmm. And I've always wanted to go to Red Rocks, so why not go to Red Rocks, play the opening set, then go out and watch a show of the band you've always wanted to see. So.
Get 2 birds stoned at once.
Exactly.
And you got to relive another dream, too. You're on a Roger Miller album, tribute album.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I still can't believe that one sometimes. It was one of those things where, someone was like, hey, you want to be on a Roger Miller tribute album? And my immediate response was, absolutely. And then I said, when do you need the song by, and what's the song choices? It's like, you get 2 song choices, and it should have been done about a week ago. Oh, my God. Okay. So the song choice that we got was One Dying and a Burying, which is, if you've ever heard that song, quite slow and mostly spoken, except for the chorus. And it's such a slow, sad, beautiful song. And the question was, what do you do with this song? Because we can't do it exactly like Roger Miller does. That just doesn't make sense, and it's impossible for us to do that with the instrumentation we have and stuff. So we dead southed it up a little bit and, made a sad song sound a little happier.
I thought you guys did a perfect rendition of it because, like you said, you dead southed it up, made it your own,
thank you very much.
But also stayed very true to Roger Miller. I think he'd have been thrilled with it.
I hope so. That's one person in my life that I would have absolutely loved to have met and seen play.
Probably party with, too.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
So I know we've talked about this before. I just want to know when it's happening. You need a documentary following you guys on the road.
That would be something.
I might be able to take enough time off to run that camera.
Yeah, that'd actually be really interesting for someone to come sit around and follow us around. Everyone's quite unique.
That's for sure. And some of the crazy you guys do on the road would be entertaining to see. And maybe your parents might not care for it.
Our parents wouldn't cringe too much. We're pretty good. I mean, they would have cringed years ago when we first started because we were just young pups and you couldn't stop us.
Right.
We'd go on tour for a month and a half and, we were pretty much, going out and being in town every night.
Awake the whole time.
Yeah. And then you come home absolutely tuckered and like, oh, this is really fun, but so tiring. I wonder why.
Right.
So we're trying to figure that out now. Everyone's kind of got their routines and everyone's really into physical activity now. And,
that's great.
As healthy as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are you still doing what was it before, the probiotics?
Probiotics and stuff. Yeah, a little bit. So Scott's a big, he's a big healthy guy. Rock climbs very competitively, outside and indoors as well, bouldering and sport climbing. And along with that, he's very healthy and in tune with his body. So he kind of introduces us to some stuff, supplements and stuff, so that we can kind of keep up with not getting intakes of what we're missing on the road a lot.
Right.
So you do probiotics and stuff, and we take veg greens. We're getting our vegetable fix and phytobiotics, and we get like a fruit fix and
And you gotta, swallow it down with some whiskey, I hope.
Yeah, well, I mean, of course.
For the fans.
The point of drinking whiskey is you're not going to stay healthy and drink whiskey.
Right. So you mentioned Red Rocks is coming up. Are there any other venues that you're looking forward to playing or want to play?
We're really excited to be playing Glastonbury. That's a huge festival in the UK, and it's pretty special to be playing something like that. The lineup this year is incredible. That Deer Take Festival in the UK is really good too. And, but venue-wise, a lot of times I don't know what to expect, and I kind of like it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So then you just go in, and then your mind is blown. So, for example, we just played in Paris at this theater called Le Trianon, and it's this old Parisian theater, and it's so beautiful, and hands down the best show we've ever had.
That's awesome. And you guys were there shortly before the big disaster, too.
Yes, the Notre Dame burning down.
Right. Crazy.
Yeah, I've been telling everyone it was rhubarb. Working over there.
You must be reading my sheet here. Here's the next question. How often is Rhubarb getting recognized, and how does he enjoy that?
How often? He gets recognized here and there for sure, because he's been in a couple of videos. He's been touring with us for a couple of years now, so people watch the videos and who have either been to a couple of shows, they recognize him. And I think he likes it for the most part, unless he's busy and has something to do, which is most of the time.
Right.
And someone kind of wants to pull him aside and talk to him, and he's like, I'd love to, but I really have to get stuff done.
Uh-huh.
And then he kind of gets like, I hope they didn't think I was being rude. I really had to get something done. That's kind of the tough thing I've been finding lately. There's always so much to do, so you're kind of running back and forth, and then people talk, which is absolutely, I would love to talk as well. But you have to get from A to B, and people keep trying to pull you aside. Man, I gotta go. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Then you kind of wonder after, like, I hope they don't think I was being rude. I just really had to go.
I don't think anyone would think Rhubarb is being rude.
Yeah, probably not.
I know he did that to me a couple times. He's like, hey, get a hold of me in a few minutes. And then he'd come find me. Hey, let's go hang out. I got a few minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, he's good for that.
We all tend to forget that he's there working.
Yeah.
So what are you guys doing with your time off?
I guess it depends who you're talking about.
Right. Well, I'm talking about you first.
Me first?
Yeah.
Well, I stayed back in Europe for 3 days after tour just to hang out in Hamburg and hang out with a buddy and family. And then I came back home, and I just kind of started on a good routine of getting up and going to the gym and stuff. And I'm always kind of sitting at the kitchen table, just kind of working on ideas for songs and seeing if something sticks. And I've been kind of doing this side project for my own personal just experiences and development and trying to get better. Where I'll go and either do something solo or with my buddy Ian Cameron on pedal steel, or with him and a bunch of other really good musicians that I call the Fellas. And we'll just kind of play some songs that I've written, and we'll just go out and play them, and I'll see how they feel and how I feel, because I'm really bad at not playing with the Dead South. I get insanely nervous. I don't have the same kind of confidence. I start sweating. I start forgetting my parts. All of a sudden I can't play the guitar as well.
How does it feel to be a normal human being?
Oh, it's great, man. It's great. And that's kind of been part of what I've been really wanting to do lately, is just do a lot of different things. So, for instance, Colton does a lot of jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
So the other night he invited me out to a class, and I went. And Colton's probably like 80 pounds lighter than me, and he was just choking me out and arm-barring me left and right and just whooping my ass all over the place. It was awesome. I had an absolute blast, and I can't wait to go back.
Awesome. I was going to ask if you spend a lot of time together outside of what you do.
Not a lot of time, but we definitely see each other here and there. I mean, everyone's pretty busy. Danny's always working at his other job as a structural engineer for Casey Kenyon Engineering, and Scott now lives in Kelowna, which is 16 hours away.
Ooh.
And Colton he's got a really good routine going with jiu-jitsu. He does about twice a day and other stuff like that. And usually when we're home, we're just resting.
Yeah, don't blame you. You guys tour like crazy.
Yeah, trying to catch up on that old sleep clock.
Have you been thinking about any more collaborations? I know you collaborated with Coulter Wall on Johnny Boy's Bones. Is there anything like that in the works for the future?
Yeah, nothing with Coulter planned as of yet, but that'd be great to do. I recently just sang on, there's this group in Regina called the Andino Sons, and they're Chilean folk, and they are just one hell of a good time. And I just sang on one of their songs for their album. And a lot of times, we're always thinking about stuff like that, and if anyone is ever down and they ask us, we're usually very keen on doing that. I know Colton has played banjo on a couple other artists' albums, and Danny's played cello on a couple other artists' albums. If anyone ever wants Scott to sing, he'll be there in no time at all.
It definitely seems like a really tight-knit music community up there.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, the Canadian music scene it's quite small for what it is. Like, we're very spaced out. Canada's massive, and it's so far to get anywhere. But, over the years, you kind of just start running into the same people, and you know a guy who knows a guy, so you know him through that guy. And then you all kind of become friends. And, in any community, it's strong, but they can be cliquey, too. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of how it is. That's what I love about Dead South, is we are the least clickiest people you can find. We listen to everything, and we'll go to anyone's show that we like.
Right.
Support you, no problem.
I just find that the music out of that area is just so unique. I've been listening to Boots and the Hoots. And,
yeah, those guys are good.
Of course, Coulter Wall. I just saw it last weekend. Phenomenal live.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he is phenomenal.
I've never seen any videos of him with the full band, so to see him out with the full band, that was just mind-blowing.
Yeah, his band's so good.
They're so laid back. There's nothing that's overkill.
Best group of people right there. Yeah.
Well, I'll stop talking about all the other bands.
Hey, that's all right, man. I love talking music.
Okay, I've got some tour life rapid-fire questions for you. How's that sound?
All right.
Okay. Who sleeps the most on tour?
Oh.
And who sleeps the least?
Danny or me.
Who eats the most?
It used to be Scott, but he's been pretty, I don't know, peckish, just kind of eating a lot of small, healthy things here and there, not quite doing the big meals. Scott used to have this thing where he would eat everything that's in front of him because he just didn't want it to go to waste. Uh-huh. And he's not a big guy at all, and he could just put it away, no problem. But actually, our lighting guy, the Duke, he eats the most, for sure.
Who smells the worst?
Well, Scott's a pretty stinky guy. Danny doesn't wear deodorant, but normally he still doesn't stink that bad. Every once in a while it comes out. I'd say it's between those two. But I mean, we all stink at the end of the day. We're wearing we sweat every night on stage and his clothes and stuff. So.
Yeah, I've been on the bus. Who rarely complains? Or complains the least?
I would say we're all pretty good at not complaining. Mm-hmm. You don't really hear Danny complaining much at all, even though he's not a big fan of germs. Mm-hmm. It's just like, but you never really hear him complain about it. He just kind of takes it and accepts it. He's like, all right, this is the situation I'm in. So be it. Tomorrow will be a different day.
Well, it's got to be rough living in such close quarters with a small group of people.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what I mean. Like, he adapts really well.
I'm sure everyone has their stuff that they put aside to make it work for everyone.
Yeah, everyone's actually really good. I mean, we clean the bus, probably twice a day. Because with that, there's 9 people on there, it can get messy in no time. Mm-hmm. So everyone just kind of, at the end of the night, start putting stuff away, and usually in the morning, stuff will be cleaned up. So.
Who has the worst style?
Worst style? Oh, on tour, definitely Colton. He gets 0. Can I swear?
Oh, yeah.
He gets 0. He wears he brings 2 pairs of sweatpants, like track pants, and this like track sweater and running shoes. And at night he puts on these what do they call it? They're like nighttime reader glasses, so that it gives your eyes like that. Scott has a pair of them too. But Colton's look like cycling glasses almost. So definitely cool.
I think we need a picture on Instagram of that.
Oh yeah, I did a story of it of him from one end of the bus to the coming all the way up to the camera.
Who gets the most pumped for a show?
Definitely Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scott's that being that can just like summon pump when he needs it.
Who sings the most on the tour bus?
Probably Scott.
Is there any whistlers on the bus? Somebody would tell.
Scott and Danny are both great whistlers. I try whistle.
Yeah.
And I'm not a good whistler, so I whistle a lot just to try and get better at whistling.
My daughter can whistle and I can't, so she likes to rub it in.
Well, that's good. She should, because whistling is awesome. You do it well. And when you suck at it, it sucks really bad.
Who would be the arm wrestling champ in the bus?
Oh, Scott, that guy's a monster.
And thumb wrestling?
Thumb wrestling, me.
Yeah? Just your right hand?
I'm ambi.
Oh, okay.
Ambidextrous, man. I can thumb more anyone with either hand, no problem.
I was throwing some innuendo in there, but...
I know you were.
Who's the best skateboarder?
Best skateboarder? Probably me, and that's not saying a lot. I used to skateboard a lot when I was a kid, but these days it's quite a bit rougher. A lot heavier, and I just don't have the balls I used to. I'm scared to get hurt now. Actually, when Dell comes, Dell's definitely up there too.
Who gets recognized the most?
Danny.
Danny?
Danny can't really hide. He's got the same beautiful hair and the same gorgeous face everywhere he goes. Scott can tuck his hair up in a ponytail, wear a toque, wear a hood. I can wear different hats, kind of hide it. So I'd say Danny. And Colton doesn't have his braids anymore, so
right. Never
him.
Who likes getting recognized the least?
Colton.
And who likes it the most?
That's a good question. I'm finding it hard because usually when you get recognized, you're in like a conversation with somebody, or you're eating,
right,
or you want to get somewhere. So I think we're all kind of the same on that one.
Who breaks the most strings? That's
easily me. And then Scott's a close second.
And who is the first one dressed for a gig?
That's probably between Colton and myself. Sometimes it's Danny, but also sometimes Danny's late. He's like, showtime. He's like, I'm just going to take a quick shower. So you never know.
He's one of them guys.
Yeah. He's either like super early on it or just in time.
Who is the first one to ditch the uniform once you're done?
Oh, we all get out of them pretty quick. At least our shirts anyways. Like as soon as I'm in the back room, my coat is off and my white shirt's off because it's so sweaty.
Yeah.
Scott's shirt's usually off in a second.
That was a bad choice with the coat, wasn't it?
No, you know what? I actually don't mind it at all, and I'm definitely used to it. The coat was definitely to cover up. I started getting a belly a little while after we started playing from all the drinking and eating we were doing. So I would just cover it up with the coat. I was like, is that a power move? I was like, no, it's actually a hide your belly move. So.
I'm going to have to steal that one, I think.
Yeah. Take it, no problem.
The new vest has got to help too, huh?
The new vest, yeah. You saw that one? That girl made?
That's awesome.
That's awesome, yeah. She did a great job. We're actually getting denim coats from Dead South now, too, to sell to people.
Awesome. Well, count me in on that one.
We don't have that artwork on it yet, but right now we're going to start simple, and then we'll just keep going until people play.
So you're going to sell the whole Canadian tuxedo then?
Oh, definitely. Well, except for the pants. But
right.
One of these days.
You have to bring your own.
Yeah. You got to bring your own pants.
All right. I got questions about the world because, I stay pretty much here. Which country has the most diehard fans?
That's a really tough one to answer. I think we find a little bit of those everywhere. I mean, U.S., we're finding more and more we get a lot of really good fans, but also Europe is, like Germany and Western Europe, we get a lot of really good fans too. And the UK now. The UK is real good to us.
Is there any specific city that comes to mind?
Red Deer, Alberta is really good to us in Canada. That's one every time we show up, it only gets bigger and better every time. Well, I'm now going to say Paris because that was the most insane show we've ever had. Hamburg's really good to us. Berlin, absolutely wild.
Those Germans love that crazy shit.
Yeah, man.
Anything crazy.
Love that shit.
Is it nice to do an interview where you can swear?
Oh, it is. It definitely is. It's liberating.
It's nice to be able to let it fly.
Just like overdub it with fart or something.
That's a great idea. I think I will.
Yeah. There you go. Anytime there's a swear, you just put it over top.
What's the most difficult country to travel in?
Canada. Thus far.
Yeah? Just because it takes so long?
It's so spread out, right? I mean...
Right.
We go from, Regina to Calgary, that's 8-hour drive, which is, more standard for us because we do that a lot. Regina to Winnipeg is 5-6 hours.
And those aren't really that big of a city, are they?
Well, Calgary is a couple million. Go to Halifax, that's like a 40-some-hour drive.
Right. Where has the best bars?
That's also a tough one, but I would definitely say Europe has a lot of really intricate, cool bars. Just little holes in the walls that you wouldn't expect. It's pretty cool. And beers are so cheap to buy there in the bars and stuff. I mean, if you're going for a liquor drink, they're kind of on par, maybe a little cheaper, but the beers are cheap and really good. And if you're going to go to like UK or Ireland, you know, you're going to get the really nice pub feel, which is cool and really authentic. It feels great.
Where has the best food?
Definitely not the UK.
A little bland?
I would say Europe has the best food. And the reason I say that is a lot of times when we get catering, in Europe, they're usually homemade meals, and they're healthy and they just taste so good.
Where have you played that the language barrier was the worst?
the UK. Sometimes you'll be talking to somebody like, what the hell did that guy just say to me? I think he was speaking English.
In Scotland?
Yeah, kind of Scotland, Newcastle area. I love the accents, and normally it's not an issue, but that's where I get the most comments from the other guys. Like, I had no idea what they were saying to me. And, you know, you go to, like, Germany, and their English is pretty much flawless for the most part.
Right. Where beyond the U.S., Canada, and Europe would you like to play?
Well, we'd like to play in Australia. We've been getting lots of requests for that. I'd like to do Australia and New Zealand. Definitely want to play in Mexico. I would love to play in Brazil. Oh, man. I would actually like to play in Russia one of these days, too.
Just not enough hours in the day, I guess.
Yeah, tough. The world's so big.
Yeah.
A lot of places.
Do you have any ideas for the next videos?
Yeah, actually, we're going to start filming this week.
Oh, awesome. I really enjoy your promo videos.
Thanks. We're going to do a couple of those, too.
I love all the inside information that helps it along, so if you know you guys at all, it makes the video that much more hilarious.
Yeah, definitely. And we're going to definitely be putting a lot more of that stuff into these things. I'm excited for it.
Cool. My favorite all-time segment in a video was the liquor bottle being dragged by the rope in front of you, and you fold the newspaper down.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That's such a classic moment.
What do we do for our own scenes? Where do we be? I'm like, man, I should be chasing a bottle of liquor for sure.
And also the part where Scott gets dragged along the ground. You guys had to be laughing so hard.
Kind of knocking us out. Yeah, that was perfect.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to the next ones for sure.
Yeah, me too.
So why don't you plug your website and dates and where you can get the album and stuff?
Yeah, sure. If you just go to thedeadsouth.com, you will find our merchandise, our tickets, any information about most of us, or if you check us out on Facebook or Instagram, just search The Dead South, and you should be able to find us anywhere there. We got a lot of dates that are going to be coming up. We're doing that UK run in June here. We're actually playing a festival in Wisconsin on June 16th, and then we're heading to the UK right after that, to Glastonbury, and then we're starting our US run this summer, July 19th, and you can check out more details on the website from there, and figure out, follow us around, and we'd love to see you out, and just don't say hi when we're eating, and that's all we ask.
That's good advice.
It is. It's funny too, because like people come up and like, I'm so sorry, I hate to do this. Like, well, do you hate to do it? Do you really?
You're not sorry. You're not Canadian.
Yeah, you're not that sorry. We're sorry all the time. About to go to the Avengers Endgame.
Oh, you're into that?
Well, you know, a little bit. I've always been into superheroes as a kid, and these movies, they keep pumping them out. You know, I'm kind of like, not bad. But then I saw Infinity War, and that was the first time I was like, I cannot wait for the next one. So I'm going to go see what happens here right away.
Well, my wife said something about going to see one. And I'm like, I haven't really seen any of it. I've seen a few of the superhero movies. So she goes, let me look and see how much we need to see chronologically to make this make sense. Don't look it up. It's like 21 movies. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Take a couple days. You guys just binge watch for a couple days. You'll be all caught up.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to send my kid with you then, and we'll just watch movies for 3 days straight.
You got it, man. You got it. We'll find something good to do.
Well, she loves music, so she'll be all set.
Perfect.
Well, hey, man, thanks for the phone call. I really appreciate it.
Oh, man, thank you. I'm glad we finally got connected here. Take care.
Thanks for listening to Tony and Other People, a podcast. Questions, comments, concerns for Tony's overall well-being? Want to be part of the show? Find us on Facebook or email us at tonyandotherpeople@gmail.com.